Okay, so this video is just going to be some results related to the longest trip I've ever done so far in my Polestar 2. I'm going from up here in Worcestershire down to London for some work. So I've fully charged up to 100%. It's telling me 270 miles of range. I'm waiting for the internet connectivity to reset because I can't currently get an estimation on the map to see what it thinks my battery will be like when I get there. But yeah, I'll roll the intro and then we'll talk about some of the stats and obviously probably a bit of B-roll and then the kind of end results of how the journey was in the Polestar 2. Okay, so I'm just doing the old reset of the connectivity. That's a good indication there. Basically you have to hold down the front heated screen button for 10 seconds or so. Then when the SOS button starts to flash, it is supposedly resetting the cell thingamajig. So SOS is now working, so we just need to wait a little bit and we should get connection back. This is where I'm going to be staying. I just need to wait for that to, there we go. So now I can press retry. So I should have 34% battery when we get there, based on trying up to 100%. So I probably will stop for a bathroom break on the way down there, and but I probably won't charge. My plan is to get all the way there without charging and then just charge a little bit on the way back. If the traffic's really bad, I may change my mind. If the battery estimate changes as well, I may stop and charge as well. The whole idea is that I can get to London and a little bit of the way back and then stop off and charging when I come back after a couple of days. But yeah, this is the longest trip I've done in a Polestar 2 since getting it, just due to lockdown. And again, not really wanting to make this trip, but I need to for work. So yeah, let's see how we get on and see how the Polestar performs. I need to reset the trip counter as well, so we can get to see how many kilowatt hours per 100 miles it is as well. So enjoy. Okay, so a little status update. I've stopped at Beaconsfield services because I need a wee-wee. And I'm currently at 52% battery remaining. It says 130 miles of range. I have had the air conditioning on set to 18 for the whole journey. So this isn't trying to maximize range, it's just normal driving. So I'm averaging 35.7 kilowatt hours per 100 miles so far on this trip. I think when we originally started, it said I have 34% battery when I arrive at the location. It was saying it had gone up to 38% battery remaining when I get to the location, but there's been some roadworks and things. So I'm going to do a different route that will get me there 22 minutes faster. Means I don't have to sit in traffic for ages, but it will reduce the battery to only in 24% when I get there. So I'm going to work out what I think that means. After I go and do a pee. There is some Ecotricity chargers here. I don't know if they're working. I'll have a little look on the way back, and I just need to work out if 24% battery is enough to get me from into London out to a charger on the way back. So gonna go pee freely and then work things out, and we can get back on with the video. Right, it's just back from my pee. I'm going to work out if I need to charge or not. But 3 electricity chargers here. One of them is kind of working, but a bit intermittent. The other 2, well, one of them isn't on at all. The second one, or the third one, the guy's just given up on it. I noticed there's some Ionity chargers over there. So if I do need to charge, I will stop there. But I think Ionity chargers are the expensive ones, aren't they? So let's have a look at a better route planner and see if I need to charge or not before heading into London. Okay, so I decided I would get some charging at the Ionities. It's funny because I saw a guy at the Ecotricities. I told him to go use the Ionities. So he's here charging. This one behind me over here isn't working. Another one isn't working. There's 4 of them here, and one of them's got a Tesla Model 3 plugged in that's at 100%. So this is the joys of the public charging network. So I'll drink the drink that I've got, and if someone comes back I will. If not, I'll just have to make probably an additional stop on the way out of London, most likely. So we'll see how we go. Another option, of course, is to take the shorter route that's stuck in traffic and just sit in traffic for a while. They say I'll get there about 35% and not have to make an additional stop on the way back, but we'll see if someone comes back to this Tesla or not. Okay, so the guy in the Tesla came back real quickly just after I did that last piece, so I'll be able to plug in. And the good news is it's on free vend, 100% free vend. So it makes sense as to why he basically just left his car when he didn't really need to charge, I guess. So we'll have a quick look on the screens here. So it's currently saying 159 miles an hour charging on the Polestar screen. And then if we look at a better route planner, hopefully we'll be able to see how many kilowatts. So it's saying 58 kilowatts at the moment. So not great when this is supposed to be a 150 kilowatt charger, but it might go up. So yeah, it's going up, ramping up slowly now. So I'm going to finish up charging here and then get back on the road. Okay, so I've charged up to 80% and now I'm going to get moving. Didn't really get above 50 kilowatts the whole time here at this 150 kilowatt charger. There's a Volvo next to me that when I looked on the screen was getting 80 something kilowatts. So not quite sure if it's just maybe battery temperature or what have you, I don't know. But let's set off and it thinks, let's see, should probably get there with about 50% battery. I'm not sure if that's updated or not, and there's some bad traffic now, but go and disconnect and get going. So this will make you laugh. So just been rerouted again because the M25 is closed. So now it's taking me back on my original route, and I'll now have 67% battery when I arrive at the destination. So yeah. Oh well, so we'll see what happens. 67% when we get there. Not sure how long it's going to take now because there's just traffic bad everywhere, which is the joys of navigating into London. So catch you in a bit. Okay, so I've just arrived, and yeah, it took quite a while actually to get here. So I've been driving for 4 hours and 8 minutes. That doesn't obviously include when I was going to stop for a little bit. I think it might include the charging though. So 33.9 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, which isn't too bad. And I've arrived with 65% battery, which is pretty good. I'm going to check to see what it's going to look like on the way back. So obviously I will probably need to charge, maybe not till quite later in the journey. The traffic here was terrible. I know many of you are going, well Dale, why do you drive to London? I always drive to London if I have to come. I don't really like coming to London for work, but have to do what you got to do. London's just not for me, but I'd rather obviously be in my comfort of my own car, sat in traffic and listen to my audiobooks and stuff than be on public transport, even before COVID. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm here. Need to get checked into my hotel, and then come back in the next part of this video on the trip back and kind of give you my conclusions. But really, 4 hours I've been sat in this car, no problem with the seats, no sweatiness, nice and comfortable. The only thing I think I've noticed, and maybe it's just the car's literally just right now hit 1,500 miles, I feel like the electric motors are a bit noisier than they were before. And I also don't have my rear parcel shelving, so I had the dog crate in there for a while, and there's something rattling around in there which is a little bit annoying. But aside from that, everything's really good, no complaints, and yeah, generally happy. Okay, so I'm leaving on my way back, starting with 65%, and it says I would get home with about 2%, so I'm not going to risk it in case there is some kind of new diversion or something. So I'm going to stop again at that Beaconsfield Ionity charger that was on free vend, charge up a little bit, and probably grab myself something to eat, and we'll see how we go. So currently 34.2 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, and that's around, obviously about halfway of the trip, so about 150 miles of that. And the temperature really hasn't gotten over 11 degrees. Right now it's 7 degrees, so still not optimal operating temperatures, especially for getting started in the morning like we are today. But keep on trucking. I'm gonna it looks like I'm going through the city centre of London to get back to the M40 on the return run. So we'll see how we go. Currently says 2 hours 53 minutes, but it took me like 6 hours when I came down, so we'll see. Okay, so it's taken me about an hour and a half to get out of London onto the M40, and now I've stopped back at those Ionity chargers again, so 2 of them still working, and obviously on free vend I've arrived at 48%, and it gone down to have 0%, so I basically wouldn't be able to get back anyway. So charging up, currently getting 70 kilowatts and climbing, so we'll see how we get on. But yeah, really the car's doing a great job. I can't remember mentioned before, the reason I drive to London is I've never been a massive fan of public transport, and even with COVID obviously a bit worse, so I prefer to drive and have a comfortable seat. But the car's been really good, really comfortable. The pilot assist thing works really well. The only thing I notice is when you come to a complete stop in traffic, you do have to touch the accelerator again to get it to move off, but apart from that everything works really well. So I'm going to pop and have a call of nature, and then let us charge up to about 80%, and then we'll be off again. So not sure if it's these chargers. I'm at the same charger I used yesterday. It wasn't yesterday, wherever it was. And literally it's just getting around 50, 55, 50, 55. And I know the car that was to the left of me previously was charging faster, like 80 odd. So I'm not sure if it's a car thing or these Ionities not working as well as they supposed to. I'm not quite sure, and I don't have loads of fast car charging experience with the Polestar yet, because this is my first really long trip. So yeah, it takes a little bit longer to charge up than expected, but had a call of nature, and have a sandwich, and then keep on trekking. Literally just stopped the video, it's dropped down to 36. So yeah, and I'm currently at 63% battery, so I wouldn't think it should have dropped down that much already by now. So yeah, the Polestar does seem to have a strange charging curve. Yes, I'm not sure if it just an issue with those Ionities. The guy next to me, he was only getting 33 kilowatts as well, so I'm more convinced it's not a problem with the car. all those particular Ionity chargers. So now I got in and heading back en route, but I have lost GPS and cell reception, so I need to do a little reboot of that again. But let's keep on trucking. I'm gonna make a slight detour.
GPS signal lost.
So yeah, we'll see what the total consumption is at the end of this slightly extended journey and how many miles I did, and yeah, I'll come back with that. Okay, so I've made it back, and I have to say the Google Maps estimation for battery percentage is absolutely spot on. It said that I'd have 18% battery when I got back home, and indeed it has. So in terms of the stats, let's have a look. So I've done 8 hours and 16 minutes of driving in total, 320.1 miles with an average speed of 40 miles per hour. So there's lots of start time in London. And we have 35.2 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. So I'll put down below what I think that is in miles per kilowatt hour, because that's what makes most sense in my head. But yeah, so again, my longest journey here in the Polestar 2, I think it's performed really well. Again, we had that little weird glitch where it lost the cell reception and the GPS stopped working, so I had to do that kind of reset thing. But once that worked, everything was fine again. A little bit disappointed that I didn't download the latest over-the-air update, which you have to be driving and it comes through cell reception. So obviously my car hasn't been selected for that yet. But yeah, I'm happy. No regret. The car is comfortable on the long journeys. It's really good. So feels a bit more confidence obviously in the vehicle. I wasn't really worried about long journeys, and the next long journey that I have coming up, unless something else unscheduled happens, is obviously that collection of my Hero camper, which is going to be a mammoth journey. It's about 300 miles up north, obviously not towing, so we'll have to stop and charge on that one. And then on the way back, I'll say another nearly 300 miles, but I will be towing. So it'll be interesting navigating charges and everything. And one thing that I guess I have realised, and I was looking on the way back, I did take a slight detour to pop to IKEA, which was a stupid idea because I figured IKEA wouldn't be very busy. But there was massive queues and the car park was full, so I just didn't bother even trying. I will pay to have things delivered online. But yeah, the thing that I realised when I was looking just on the route, there's no 150 kilowatt chargers. They're all 50 kilowatt chargers. So I couldn't stop off at one and see if the car would charge any quicker. But yeah, even with 50 kilowatts, it charges, fast enough. But yeah, that's it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't done already, I'd really appreciate if you liked this video. Helps get the channel noticed by YouTube's algorithms. And if you're not already, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification icon. Be much appreciated. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below in the comments section, and I will obviously respond and read them. But yeah, until the next one, take care of yourself, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.